G'day my fellow media collectors and welcome to the Comic Book Movie Collector's Guide, your show about collecting all things superhero cinema. I'm your host Troy and today we are going to review Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness on Blu-ray, and we're going to try and answer the question, is this Doctor Strange really magical or just plain madness? Ooh, what do you say we get into it?
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, the Super Friends
are reviewing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, a live-action superhero movie with a runtime of 126 minutes. The film was released into theatres on the 2nd of May 2022, then on Disney Plus on the 22nd of June 2022, and later on DVD, Blu-ray and 4K HD on the 26th of July 2022. It was written by Michael Waldron and directed by Sam Raimi. The film was produced by Marvel Studios with it distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures. Even though the film received mixed reviews from critics and fans alike, the film still managed to gross $955 million worldwide, making it the third highest grossing film of 2022. Okay, if we look at the cover, not too bad there. I don't mind this cover actually. You've kind of got all your main players around there with Strange in the middle, and then you've got this whole broken mirror effect going on around the back. It's kind of like the movie poster has a lot of that too. It's potentially just a little too busy on the cover, a little bit too much going on, especially on the movie poster too, as they tried to sneak all these little Easter eggs in and stuff. But yeah, it just kind of distracted from what you're really looking at on the like the main characters and stuff. If we look at the side, it's your stock standard release. It just matches all the other ones, and because the title's so big, they've really jammed it in there small. Like honestly, if you were looking for it quick, you'd look straight past it, I reckon. And on the back, not too bad. Kind of has the same vibe of the whole cover and everything. Not a great deal of detail there, but still looks good nonetheless, and sort of fits the aesthetic of what they're going for there. And if we look at the disc, look at that. What a nice cracking picture there of a Wanda there. I think that's a great one. And it's a color picture disc. And you know, we love that here. And very good. I'm going to give that marks for that. So overall, not a bad job actually. Lately, they just sort of pump them out really quick, mass produce them. They don't put too much effort. But looks like they've put a little bit of effort into this one. And I do appreciate that. So for that, I am probably going to give this, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. So, the movie starts out with Doctor Strange saving a mysterious teenage girl, America Chavez, who can travel across the multiverses and is being hunted down by a mysterious force who wants to steal her powers. So, Doctor Strange seeks out the Scarlet Witch to help America, only to find out that the Scarlet Witch has succumbed to the Darkhold, and she is the one who's after America to steal her powers, to travel across the multiverses. And it's up to Doctor Strange and Wong to protect America and stop the Scarlet Witch from her plans to find her children and potentially destroy the multiverse in the process.
She will destroy you because she can.
So look, I do have some mixed feelings about this story and the script, with the story being, look, solid enough, but the script not quite there yet. But look, I've read out there that there've been some behind the scenes shenanigans, shall we say, from the studio with rewrites and reshoots, as we know. And look, we also know that never helps the final outcome of any movie.
Why do you have to mess everything up?
Now, look, most of the criticism out there has been laid at the movie kind of about its script, which, let's face it, you could tweak a few things. I'm not saying otherwise, but I don't find the script is as terrible as they make it out to be. But for me, I have really one issue that I kind of have with the script, but it's also a part I really enjoy as well, which is a bit of a dichotomy here. So this is where I'm of two minds on it, and that's the whole second act where they end up on Earth 838. and we get to see the Illuminati, which, let's face it, it is just a straight up fan service. And look, I loved it just as much as everyone else, but it didn't really do anything for the story. And it was supposed to be a movie about the multiverses, which means multiple verses, but we only ever really get to see, of any length, just 3 universes. Which kind of excludes the little 20-second one where Strange and America just go through that little scene where they seem to go through like a dozen multiverses before they eventually get to Earth 838. You see, for me, I've really felt that was a missed opportunity, because they really could have explored more different universes than just sticking to maybe just one alternative one, which they kind of really did. And as I said, I don't think it was as I don't think the script or the story was as bad as most people say. Sure, it needed some work, but look, I still think it did okay. And for that, I'm going to give it a 22 out of 30. So this story is not based off any comic book source material that I could find, and was primarily written to continue with the multiverse story arcs that Marvel seem to be exploring in this Phase 5 of the MCU movies. As far as our characters go, we get to see some very spot-on renditions of them, with the majority of the cast. Look, they've been playing these characters for a while now, so they've got them pretty down pat. And the costumes, especially with the Illuminati, especially, how good were they? They were so spot on and comic book accurate, which is always a great thing to see.
Can't say they weren't good costumes.
They were great costumes.
Yeah.
One thing about this movie that everyone can agree on across the board is the visuals and cinematography of the movie. They are just outstanding, and Sam Raimi did such a stellar job in bringing that whole multiverse to life. Now, if we look at the cast up here, everyone from the first movie is back for the sequel, which is great. And of course, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange is fantastic as usual. Big fanboy. And Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda Maximoff did a great job as well, as the surprise villain, no less, of the movie. Didn't really see that coming. And how can we not mention John Krasinski as Reed Richards? Even though only a short appearance, I am down for a Fantastic Four movie with him in the lead.
Shut up and take my money.
And the same goes for Hayley Atwell as Captain Carter. They need to make a movie with her as well. She was fantastic, such a great character. Now, the not so great, I'll have her name here as I can't pronounce it, as America Chavez, for me was a bit blah. She didn't ruin the movie for me, but I just found her performance to be a little flat.
Also not great.
So average?
And Lashana Lynch as Captain Marvel. I thought Brie Larson was bad. Whoa, what is it about being Captain Marvel? Do you have to be a dick to play this character? Just the overwhelming arrogance of the character really just puts me off every time she's on screen. So, other than a couple of little minor things, especially with just those performances, the movie really knocks it out of the park for me on this side of things. So that's why I'm going to give it here a 19 out of 20. So we do have some special features, and they include an audio commentary by Sam Raimi, Richie Palmer and Michael Waldron, constructing the Multiverse featurette, introducing America Chavez featurette, Method to the Madness featurette, gag reel, and 3 deleted scenes. And the 3 featurettes are pretty good, and it sort of gives you that great little insight into where they were going and what they were trying to achieve in the movie, sort of like the process behind how they were going to get there. And I always love watching these things, as I always find it helps me get a better understanding of the movie sometimes, when they kind of discuss why they did certain things or pick certain things. You just get that better understanding, I suppose. Look, the gag reel is just them goofing around and dancing a real lot, but nothing funny. And the 3 deleted scenes, well, nothing special, hence why they're deleted scenes. Anyway, overall, it's some good special features here. It's not jam-packed, but it's definitely worth watching all the special features. So look, for that, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Now, the critic score came in at 74% and the audience score was 85%. Now, I've got to say that I'm kind of really surprised to see this as the score. Now, look, I don't mean that in a bad way. It should have been lower if you believe everything you've seen out there on the net. as there seems to be a lot more negative talk about the movie. But if you look at these scores, it doesn't seem to be the case. I guess it's just the world we live in today, where the negative views, even though they're only a small amount out there, always seem to have the loudest voices. It's just the way it is. Look, I agree with these scores, more probably so than the audience, than the critics, but hey, look, if we round it out, we are going to get a score of 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed this movie. I've seen it 3 times now, and I have enjoyed it every single time. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange can do no wrong in my book. He is a great Doctor Strange for the movies. And of course, with the combination of Sam Raimi, which I am a bit of a fan of, this movie is just visually stunning to watch from start to finish. Now, is it far from perfect? Yeah, it still needs a little work. But it's still enjoyable to watch for me, and that's the main thing. Now, I do want to address a few things here, and one of them is the Illuminati, which was awesome to see. Granted, it did nothing for the story, but it was a fantastic fan service moment nonetheless. Getting to see John Cranston as Reed Richards for the first time in the MCU was awesome, and the comic accurate Black Bolt was great to see. Captain Carter, also great to see as well, and Patrick Stewart back as Professor X in his 90s cartoon look. Oh my god, even better.
It was just for the fans.
Look, the second thing is the use of America Chavez in the movie. She didn't feel like a character to me, and more of just the story's MacGuffin, which kind of felt like you didn't, well, at least I didn't get invested in the character, and she felt like she was just there to be chased after or just used as an object to travel the multiverse, and not necessarily a person, which I think doesn't do much for introducing this character to the audience, you know, for the MCU. Sure, they delve a little bit into her backstory, but look, if I don't see her in another movie again, I don't think she's going to be missed.
Who was it? I don't remember.
So other than a few tweaks here and there, I still think this is a fun, enjoyable movie to watch, and another great addition to the MCU. And for that, look, I'm going to give this an 18 out of 20. So first up is collectability, and if we look on the collect scale, I would say this would be for your comic fan and up, as look, you really do need to be up on your MCU back catalogue of stories to really enjoy this film, and it would be a must-have for any collector of the MCU, or look, just a comic fan in general. Now, as far as availability goes, this one is very much on the common side of things, as it's still brand new, and you will have no trouble at all getting DVD, Blu-ray or 4K HD copy at your usual retail outlets or on your second-hand markets like eBay. Now, as far as your average price goes, you are kind of looking somewhere between the $13 to $27 mark for DVD, and if you're out there looking for Blu-ray, you're probably around the $15 to $33 mark, and of course for 4K HD, it's about the $19 to $45 mark as of this video. Now, for the final score, we get a grand total of 82 out of 100. Not a bad score at all. Very on par with the general audience consensus out there. So, look, we asked the question, is this Doctor Strange really magical or just plain madness? It's a lot of magical, and it's also full of a lot of multiverse madness. Look, another great addition to the Doctor Strange catalogue, and gets me excited to see what's next for Doctor Strange in the MCU.
You're excited? Feel these nipples!
Hey, so if you like this video and you want to see some more of my reviews, why don't you click that one there? Or maybe you want to see some of my collection updates. Got you covered too. Why don't you click that one there? Or you got to do the most important thing, and that's throw me a bat like, and don't forget to hit that subscription button on the way out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.